The Preacher and the Poet. "You were wrong, quite wrong," cried the preacher to the poet, inside the circle from where they both stood. "For it all went wrong long before you came along, for the wine has been tainted with blood. And the heaven which you speak, long denied to the weak, has been packed up and shipped off abroad. Because the Lord was no fool when he laid down the rule, for his word is a double-edged sword. To subject and neglect, not to serve and protect, nor revealing its truth by design, but to cut down the wood of the great and the good, forever stealing what's yours, now is mine. So why not attend with all those that pretend that the beast it lies slain on the floor? And while it lays sleeping, continuously keeping it fed with the tears of the poor. You a word without deed, did the poet proceed, whilst revealing the spirit within. And as you try to succeed, I will strive to impede your trickery and every whim. With each lie I'll explain every counterfeit claim, every briefing you try to suppress. Bringing light to the gloom, your cadaver perfume, every crease that you hide in your dress. For the time has now come, and the world has begun to awaken from where it once slept. No longer the reaper, for you were the keeper of all that was lost and bereft. And so the preacher came forth, as if to claim a reward for what it was he was about to relay. Speaking somewhat obscure with one eye on the door, moving nearer whilst edging away. But there's no more to do, for all that's been done was designed from the start for the way it's become. And your final chapter will be filled with my laughter, whilst yourself you shall not overcome. For every hurdle and frame has now rendered you lame. On this land there'll be nowhere to hide. So unless you repent, to myself evident, not a friend will you have to confide. For the ghost in this room shall be visited soon by whosoever the future should favour. Neither weaken nor die, but demand and supply a harvest of continual labour. And then shall I own, manifest fully grown, the devil come forth from the womb. And yours it shall not, for I care not a jot that your God remains dead in its tomb. So the poet kept writing, but began by inviting the preacher sit down by his side. And as the preacher looked over the poet his shoulder, did no further the preacher deride, but was taken to read the extraordinary creed that the poet set forth with his pen. Filled with shame and remorse, he sunk down on all fours with his head in his hands as he fell. For the words that he read should remain in his head when he realised the mistake he had made. Full of fear and dread for himself, he'd misled. It was he that had dug his own grave. And it's not ours to quote what the poet had wrote, because those that do preach seldom do. Because deep in your soul, there's a spade and a hole that you dig when you stray from what's true.